Brilliance Audio presents Misadventures in the Cage by Sarah Robinson, performed by Carrie Height and Lacey Laurel. The newcomer turned back to her, concern etched on his features, his brow furrowed. "Are you okay?" I think so." She got back up to her feet and examined her wrist, wincing at the pain. He noticed her expression. "We need to get you to a hospital." "No way. I'm not spending all night in a hospital room when I know it's not broken. It probably just needs some ice." Plus, she couldn't afford the fallout from the media over yet another family scandal. It was bad enough that her entire family was on a reality television show, thanks to her brother's career that chronicled her every move. But knowing that any little thing she did could be used as fodder for an episode was a nightmare waiting to happen. "See, I can still move it." She gingerly moved her wrist. A small smirk played across his lips, and she couldn't help but notice a slight Irish lilt in his voice. "Useful." "Thank you for your help," she stammered, trying to find something to say to this incredibly gorgeous man who just ridden in like Prince Charming and saved her life. "I'll just go find my lift now." "What's your name?" he asked, seeming to ignore everything she just said. "Josie." It was a nice change of pace to run into someone who didn't know who she was. Although that wasn't very unusual with men because they weren't really the target demographic for her family show. He nodded. "I'm Callan." "Nice to meet you, Callan." She started to walk away. "Need a ride home?" he asked, motioning to a sleek black SUV parked against the curb. Of course, it had to be a frickin' Range Rover. Who the hell was this guy? It certainly wasn't unusual in Las Vegas to run into celebrities, but she didn't recognize him. Although, something about his face. He did look familiar. She glanced down at her phone and checked her Lyft app. Her driver was still 13 minutes away. What the hell? She canceled the ride. Sure, why not? A ride with a life-saving potential celebrity sounded safer anyway than with a total stranger vetted only by an app. At least, that was the story she was going with to convince herself to get into the car with this drop-dead handsome man. And when she said drop-dead handsome, she meant it. The dude was gawk-worthy, chiseled muscles on every inch of his body that she could see, long, wavy brown hair tied back in a ponytail, and blue eyes that made her knees feel like they were made of jello. "Is this your car?" she asked, motioning to the Range Rover. He nodded and opened the passenger door for her. "Hop in." "Hold on 1 second. She walked around to the front of the car and took a picture of the car and license plate and sent it off in a quick text to her best friend Emily. "Did you just take a picture of my license plate?" he asked, one brow raised as he watched her. "And texted it to my friend," she confirmed, waltzing past him and climbing into the passenger seat of the car. He chuckled, leaning against the doorframe. "Can I ask why?" "In case you murder me." She turned to face him, giving him a deadpan expression, like it was the most obvious thing ever. Her mother had taught her that trick years ago, though growing up in Las Vegas had been an education in and of itself. Men were a lot less likely to act nefariously when they knew they were being held accountable by an anonymous third party. A grin spread right across his face, and it only made his beautiful features all the more glorious. Smart lady. He closed her car door, and she watched with interest as he walked around the car and then climbed into the driver's seat. The way he moved. Jesus, it was a sin. He stalked around the car like he was searching for prey, and it made her shiver in the best way. "Where to, Miss Precaution?" he asked. Maybe it was the tequila talking, or maybe it was the fact that he was daring her to throw caution to the wind. Or maybe she was just fed up with the monotony of her life and wanted to throw a wrench into things. She wasn't sure what made the next words come out of her mouth. All she knew was that she said them, and she didn't want to take them back. "Take me to your place,"